Hello, everyone. The quarterly results season is going on, and so many companies have come up with a lot of Some companies have come up with super amazing strong numbers. Some companies have come up with below average numbers. Some is a mixed bag. I keep on getting this question on how do I analyze quarterly numbers, because whenever companies come up with their quarterly numbers, generally an investor presentation is uploaded. Second one, something called as a con call happens, wherein a lot of analysts who track the company, they interview the management. So that is like a conference call that happens. There is something called as a con call transcript that also gets generated. So it's very important for we as investors that we should track these two documents, one which is an investor presentation and one which is a con call. But many people don't know how to actually analyze this, and finding time to analyze these documents becomes a little bit tricky. If I were to give you just an example of latest quarterly, I mean, of course, every day every company is coming up with quarterly numbers, but one company which I keep on tracking, everyone knows who has been following my channel, is REC. Okay, so when REC came up with its quarterly numbers, I wanted to ensure that I know about how the numbers came in, what went right, what went wrong. So what I do as a shortcut, because see, also I don't have like a lot of time wherein I keep on reading each and every word by word. Earlier there was no choice, I was required to do that, but now with AI things have become so easy. We can actually track a lot of data points with very little time. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually show you how can I use AI to understand what is the investor presentation all about. Okay, so this is going to be a very important live stream, especially for those who are keen on investing in stocks with fundamental analysis approach. And for those who are using fundamental analysis, for you all, you need not track them, you need not track the market daily. Even if you track your stocks once in every quarter, that should be good enough. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and we will just go through step by step and understand how to actually quickly analyze any quarterly result. Okay, so I'm on REC. What I will do is I'll go on documents. Here we have a PPT name document, so I'm just going to download this. Okay, uh, okay, I've downloaded this already, so let me just open this. Okay, now if you have a look at this, this is a 31 pager doc. Okay, now me going through each and every number, 31 pages, this, that, it is going to be a big task for me. And this is just one stock. You can imagine, even if I have 20 stocks in my core portfolio, 20 stocks multiplied by 31 pages. So effectively going through what, 600 pages is going to be next to impossible for me. Okay, so is there a shortcut through which I can actually understand a lot about the company? So here what becomes extremely important is not just say analyze this for me or summarize this for me. I feel giving context to AI is extremely important. What context you give, how clearly you tell to AI what you exactly want. It's as good as I imagine how I would have told a person in my research team that you have to do the analysis of this document, and I want you all to do one, two, three, four, five things. I want you all to give me output or conclusion on these 5 points or these 10 points, these 20 points. So it's as good as you have to explain all these things to AI so that AI can give you a very good output. And for that, setting up a context is also extremely important. So I'll just give you an example of what prompt I use when I analyze investor presentations. See, the biggest point here is that I want a one pager executive summary prompt. This is the most important point that I give whenever I analyze any quarterly result. Okay, because as I told you, 31 pager report, I'm not going to go through that word by word. So for stocks which I believe that, okay, come what may, I need to understand each and everything, I may, but otherwise I will just say give me a one pager executive summary. Okay, now who is going to do the research? For that I've given a role and objective that you are a senior equity research analyst with 15 plus years of experience, and you are covering Indian listed companies for this 15 plus years. You write sophisticated retail in, you write for sophisticated retail investors who consent, who have or who hold concentrated portfolios and don't have time to read 40-pager broker reports. Okay, so that is the reason why I want you to give me a single executive summary. Very important, I also give it this prompt that you are not a SEBI registered advisor, so you do not issue a buy hold sell call. You provide an analytical view that helps the reader to form their own judgment. And this is my long prompt that I actually give to AI, and then I say, read the attached PDF and produce the one pager. Okay, so this is the prompt that I typically use when I analyze investor presentations by myself. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to quickly copy this. Okay, I will put this in Claude. Okay, so let me go to a new chat. In this new chat, I will just paste this entire prompt. I will also add the file rec limited, and I'll say open. Okay, so now two things can happen. Because this is a Q4, this is like a year end thing. It may give a whole year's financials plus the Q4 number. So in my executive summary thing, I have mentioned Q4 every single time. So hopefully it will understand that, be it only Q4 or be it for the whole year, ideally it should be able to give me a proper summary report on that. So I just say go, and it will now start doing its own research. It's saying contemplating standby. Okay, so what we are going to now do is 31 pager report summarized into a single research report. Okay, now it says that the user has uploaded a prompt template, analyze the one page, and that the analyst one pager. So it's saying okay, la la la. So a few things I noticed. Okay, so let it actually go through the entire thing. See the point that I was telling you? It has actually told the same things. It says, wait, these are FY26 annual reports. So this isn't strictly a quarterly snapshot. It's annual. It's not only a quarterly snapshot, it's annual. So now it is saying, okay, let me redraft this. And now it has started the entire thing. REC Limited FY26 annual snapshot. Okay. I've also told it, I had given it a prompt that I want a headline verdict. Headline verdict is basically 2 to 3 lines max, where it gives me a full summary. A verdict is basically a decision. What does it say? A mixed full year. It's a mixed full year. Record disbursements and genuinely impressive cleanup of legacy stressed book, offset by clear margin compression and softening return ratios. Note, this is the FY26 annual investor presentation. Q4 standalone P&L is not disclosed. So the analysis is FY26 versus FY25. It's annual. So very nice. It also understood that though I had told it about quarterly result, it said it's not only Q4, it has the entire year. So let me do the entire year for you. Okay. So if I am a shareholder of REC, this one headline verdict tells me how this entire year was. Record disbursements, maximum disbursements. So if you see here, it has also mentioned this disbursements 1.46 lakh crore. What a number for disbursement in FY26. It says 28% higher disbursement. This is highest ever. Okay. Now there's a problem here that though the disbursement is highest ever, 28%, what I see here, loan book AUM, this is only 3% plus. Can you understand this? Loan book has grown by only 3%, but disbursements have grown by 28%. This ideally means that there were a lot of repayments. Let us see if it is able to talk about repayments or not. Okay. One more point. So record disbursements plus cleanup of legacy stress book. So ideally their NPAs should have gone down drastically if they are saying legacy cleanup. Let us see if I get something on NPAs. In this one, at least it's not talking about NPAs. Let's check what is given ahead. Okay, fair enough. So let's quickly go through this. Income is up by 5%, 5-6%. Net interest income up by 3%. Okay, net interest margins have squeezed by 20 basis points by 0.2%. Not a good sign. Interest spread 32 basis points minus. So basically it is 0.32% down as interest spread. PAT is up only 3%. Loan book up only 3%, though disbursements are 28% higher. Renewable loan book has grown by 30%. Very nice. Net credit impaired assets by 0.26 basis points, 26 basis points gone down. Return on net worth has dropped. See, it's very, very logical why return on net worth has dropped, because their margins have also squeezed. That could be one of the reason why the return on net worth has dropped. And capital adequacy is at okay, take it, fair enough. Now, in the prompt, I had told uh, that I want you to tell me only top 5 points about what went right, what went wrong. Okay, so in what went right, it has very clearly given highest ever annual disbursements. Very good. Stage three assets cut by 82%. See, the NPA point that I was talking about is mentioned here. There are three types of NPA: stage one, stage two, stage three. Okay, stage one is like it has just become an NPA, so it's not like very crucial. Stage three is like, hey Bhagwan, this can actually become a bad debt. So stay controlling stage three is very important. And what does it say? Stage three assets cut by 82% from 7,653 crores to only 1,385 crores. This the cleanest the book has looked in years. So again, this is a very positive point. This is the cleanest the book has looked in years. Uh, Renewable loan book is up 30%. We did talk about that. Net worth grew 8.6%. Nine stressed assets worth 6,264 resolved. Very nice. Meaningful recovery story, not just provision of optics. Now, what went wrong or needs watching? And I am down. We did talk about that. Net interest margins were down. PAT grew by only 3.6%, despite a 28% surge in core disbursement. Book growth isn't translating into earnings yet because of the margin drag. Okay. Now let's also understand about return on net worth, that has also dropped. Loan book grew only 3%. Disbursement headline mask the fact that net AUM is only modest, partly because RBPF late payment surcharge financing outstanding fell sharply. So that is also one more point. And conventional, okay, TK. This is not a very important point. Okay. So management guidance commentary. Now, what has it said? It says that strategic positioning, we are the nodal agency for Indian energy. Yes, if you have watched my full video, you'll understand that for PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, it's one of the nodal agencies. It's a good one. It has some ESG commitments. Okay, funding mix is 99% foreign currency. Okay, this is about the management guidance and commentary. In this entire section, I was actually focusing on FY27. Is there any guidance? But unfortunately, this was the only point actually I was looking for. But it says no specific FY27 guidance on NIM or loan book growth targets or disbursement. Okay, fair enough. Now, what is the point that it is saying? So the investor lens, this is the last one. So what I understood till now is that overall disbursements are amazing, but loan book growth is very less. Very logical that there may be a lot of repayments here, which are actually dragging down the overall AUM. Uh, One good point is that their renewable energy loan book is also increasing very nicely, but their margins have kind of squeezed in. Okay. So what is it saying? FY26 is the first year where the structural story pivot from a conventional power lender to a diversified green and infra financier meets the inevitable margin reality of a fast growing high geared NBFC competing for renewable and infra deals against banks and PFC. But wait, now that REC and PFC are going to merge, this competition is now inevitably going to go away. Asset quality print is genuinely best in class. Stage three, the point that I mentioned is only at 0.24. So that I got to know. Friction is profitability per rupee lent, exactly. So NIM compression is what we already understood. Cost of funding isn't easing yet. That's important. And we also talked about 28% disbursement looks impressive, but the problem is that AUM growth is only 3%. Now, I'd also given it in the prompt that you have to tell me what are the key pointers that I have to track over the next 2 to 3 quarters. So, two things to track over the next 2 to 3 quarters. First, whether the disbursement momentum translates into actual book growth. Because if we are saying that, okay, there is good disbursement, but ultimately AUM is not increasing, it's not going to help the stock price go extremely higher. Okay, so I have to check whether disbursement momentum translates into actual book growth. AUM should grow. And second, whether NIM stabilizes around 3.4% or drifts down further as competitive intensity in renewable continues. So two things it has told me to track over the next 2 to 3 quarters. One is the actual loan growth, and second is about the NIMS. Okay, so all in all, it says that patient capital that bought into the green financing thesis has little reason to second guess it. The next few quarters will simply tell whether margins are at newer lows or still searching for one. I think this gave me such a nice one. You can imagine 30 pages into this small. So you can see we just started with REC, all these numbers in a tabular form. Okay, so what did I check? Numbers in tabular form. What went right? What went wrong? Okay, in guidance commentary, honestly, I just wanted this point, but unfortunately, nothing is given for FY27. And very, very important, what all things I should track over the next 2 to 3 quarters. This has also been given. So this is how I essentially track companies' quarterly results, their financials. I also check how. So one is about analyzing investor presentation, which is still comparatively easy. Okay, the trickiest part is analyzing the con call transcript, because there are so many in between the lines thing in a con call transcript. You need to give it a very nice prompt. Okay, so what essentially I'm going to tell you in this webinar. uh, oh okay. Jet 12798 says that, ma'am, I haven't joined the batch one of fundamental analysis webinar. So can I join the batch two, or that is only for batch one? No, 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 no. This is for everyone. So now let me tell you that, like I told you, how you can just crunch down a big investor presentation, 30, 40 pages, whatever, into a one pager report. It is extremely important on how you actually give it a very effective prompt, because if the prompt is bad, your output is going to be bad. I mean, when I was doing CA, I used to I mean, our teacher used to teach this concept called as gigo. What is gigo? Garbage in, garbage out. You give a garbage prompt, it is going to give you a garbage output. So it's very important that you should understand how these prompts are to be given. So what I have, let me just share my screen first. So this is again for everyone. If you visit my website rachanaranade.com, finally we are coming up with our fundamental analysis using AI batch. I know I have talked very less about this. I was busy with so many other points. My team was continuously telling me that they are getting a lot of queries about what all things are going to be covered. Can ma'am give us some demo about how things are going to be covered in this? So finally, I thought I should do a live stream today and give a small demo of how I'm going to teach in this entire batch and what all things are going to be taught in this batch. So there are going to be 6 key pointers that I'm going to teach in this FA using AI webinar. Acha, by the way, the webinar is going to happen on the 10th of May. That is this Sunday. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, it's a 2-hour webinar. And in this webinar, of course, very important point, only 500 attendees. Though I have not talked about this so much on social media, I don't think I've even put out even one post on Instagram or on LinkedIn or any other. I've talked about this in, I think, one or two of my previous live streams. I've not even done a proper video on this. So still, I mean, loads of people have already taken admission for this. So what am I going to cover in this? Let me just quickly share this with you all. 6 new things that you're going to learn here is how do you rate stocks like a pro in seconds and not in hours. So I'm going to tell you some parameters. uh, for those who have done my course on fundamental analysis, they know that I do talk about a 10 pointer theory, but I'm going to talk about few pointers which I have not also covered in the fundamental analysis course, but I feel that they are important considering even the valuation aspect of stocks. So 10 pointers, how can you give a single prompt and how can you do marking for that stock? So out of 10, how many points does that stock get? And whether it's like a pass or a fail based on that. Okay. Very important, AI can do a lot of guesswork. How can you avoid that guesswork? How can you ensure that AI stays on track? That's extremely important. I'm sure those who do use AI, you understand the term called as hallucination. It hallucinates a lot of data. It in simple words, man ki baat. It can give that according to me, these are the numbers, and which are not the numbers also. Okay, it can hallucinate a lot of data. So how to ensure that the data is on track? We will talk about that. So how to rate stocks like a pro? Very important. Like I decoded an investor presentation for you right now, I'm also going to tell you how to decode con calls, because this is where there are some real drivers that analysts actually track, and how to uncover that, how to read that. That's what we want to understand in this webinar. uh, Very important again, whether management is truly walking the talk. And what do I mean by that? See, it's very important for us to understand what guidance management had given and what were the actual numbers that were presented. So it's important for us to do guidance versus actual numbers. But again, how AI can help in that? Because otherwise, going through all the documents, finding the guidance numbers, comparing it with actual numbers, it takes a lot of time. With one or two simple prompts, how can you do that? Is what I'm going to teach in this webinar. Understanding a company's business model in minutes, because it does happen that, I mean, let's be honest, it does happen that sometimes people end up buying stocks just based on tips or just based on someone else's recommendation. Many times people don't even know what does the company do, but how can you understand so see, then you may be like, I can also just go directly to screener, and if you check here about, in about I can understand what does the company do. Okay, but it's not only about understanding this about section. You must understand a lot of points about the business model. So what are the revenue drivers, what is the moat of the company, which segment generates how much revenue, and that too in a very simplified way. Okay, so all these things I'm going to cover in understanding the business model in minutes. I'm going to teach you how to prepare institutional level research reports using Claude. Very, very, very important point, how to compare banks like an analyst in just one prompt. Because what happens is that, let's say I want to compare REC with PFC, or let's say I want to compare Zomato with Swiggy. Okay, how do I do that? I go to internal, I'll just say, I'll go to peers and I'll say compare it with Swiggy. Okay, can I get a very nice comparison? I can, no problem. Okay, but if I were to analyze, let's say ICICI Bank, and if I were to compare that with, let's say, HDFC Bank, okay, all these are standard pointers. Where is NIM? Where is GNPA? Where is NNPA? Where is advances, loan to advances ratio? These are not covered in screener. Okay, so what is important for us is, even for banks, with using one AI prompt, how can you actually gain a, I mean, how can you actually compare banks in quick, in one prompts? Okay, so all these things I'm going to cover. And which tools are going to be covered? Chat GPT, to a smaller extent, Claude to a great extent, Grok, very, very small pointer, Notebook LM, this is one of the most crazy pointers. For those who frequently use Notebook LM, you know about the features, but there are one or two features in Notebook LM that even I came to know about recently, and it's like a mind blowing thing that I came to know about it. Perplexity, again, a very small point. So Grok and Perplexity will be covered like in a very minute point, just one or two pointers on that. Then ChatGPT will be covered in a little bit more detail. Claude and Notebook LM are going to be the highest ones to be understood during this webinar. Okay, uh, extremely important for anyone who enrolls for the webinar. You will have the recording also with you. I will suggest that please attend it live, because you get an opportunity to ask questions to me as well. I can answer your questions. So webinar recording will be available for 7 days, just in case if you want to revise. Very, very, very important, a prompt PDF will be shared. So right now I showed you the final output, right? But what was the big prompt that I gave? See, of course, it does take a lot of time to give instructions, get a prompt, then you refine it, again get a prompt. So whatever prompts I'm going to give you in the PDF, me and my team, we it takes, it has, it's not like just give one thing and prompt, whatever prompt we get, give it back. No, it does take a lot of work and rework and refinement, and ultimately the prompt that we love, that's what we use. And that those prompts, so prompts for all these 6 points, basically all of these will be handed over to you in the form of a PDF. And anyone whose fundamental analysis courses is active right now, you can get access to this webinar. We are going to upload this webinar in your fundamental analysis course. But if your fundamental analysis course is not active, if you want to revisit the whole course again and also get an access to the webinar, you can also repurchase it at a 50% discount also. Okay, so I hope this is absolutely clear. One quick time, this Sunday it's happening 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Seats are limited already. So many people have taken admission for this. Anyone who wants to upgrade, do upgrade your knowledge, because knowing things is one point, and getting AI work as your research assistant is another point. All these things are going to be covered. Two important bonus points: one, we will hand over the entire PDF which has the prompts, and recording will also be available for 7 days. Okay, anyone who is interested to learn about this, I'm just going to give you uh, the coupon code as well. The coupon code is CARRYT. All the prompts, as I mentioned, all the prompts will be given to you in the webinar. So you can use this coupon code CARRYT to enroll. Extremely important, please remember this. I'm going to say this during the webinar also, that AI can't replace you. AI ai whatever it is generating for you, don't you can't use it just as is. You need to understand what sort of prompt you need to give, so that you get the best possible response. Okay, so prompts are going to be extremely important. Pratham asks, will you be using free model or paid model for analysis? I can say 90-95% will be free. Okay, just one or two things for ease of doing it, or if you want to give more and more prompts, I'm just going to show one or two paid things. But I mean, it's not really important that you have a paid model. I'm going to show maximum pointers which are available in the free version as well. Okay, any session on F&O using AI, it's in the research phase. We are going to come up with that, but it'll take some time. Okay, uh, I hope this is clear. Yes, people are pasting the coupon code as well. Yes, it is CARRYT. You can use that. It's about context, absolutely. Because if you give proper context, you will get amazing results. And these are the actual prompts that me and my team use while we analyze our own portfolio, or while we even prepare content for our YouTube videos. So they are going to be extremely helpful. So anyone who is wanting to enroll for this webinar, you can enroll right away. We are going to put the link in the pinned comment and in the description box. So if you have any other quick questions, you can ask. Otherwise, this was just for you all to tell you how can you use AI to the best possible extent. Uh, yes, I think Pooja has already shared the link in the pinned comment and in the description box as well. Oh, of course it is working, Kalyani. Of course it is working. Maybe you are not. What? Why is it not working for you? You just try to check what is going wrong. I mean, I'm getting so many responses for the F&O webinar that I mean, we have recovered the course fee more than that, two or three times of that. So maybe something somewhere you are going wrong, Kalyani. Okay, this question is this session cover everything, or do we have to enroll into some program elsewhere? No, no. So right now the live stream, I told you only about the investor presentation, but if you want to go through all these 6 points that I showed right now, you have to enroll for the fundamental analysis using AI webinar. The link of that is in the pinned comment and in the description box. Yes, the overall premiums are melting right now, but it will not stay as low as right now forever. Of course, premiums will depend on market situation. It can go down, it can come up. Okay, so premiums up and down. That will be an output of how the overall market is right now. Oh, right. So he's saying for investment purpose, 31 pages are nothing. Agreed, Santosh. If you are a very keen observer, a keen learner, 31 pages are nothing. Uh, but if you also want to go through the annual report, then what? Annual report run into like 200, 300, 400 pages sometimes. Going through that is going to be tricky. Number one. Number two, stock. I mean, reading 31 pages for one stock is still okay. How about going through 31 pages into 15 to 20 stocks per quarter? It's going to be time consuming. If you have that much time, well, please go ahead and read every pointer day by day. The webinar is for 2,499, but I've also given the coupon code for you all. This will be given to those, this PDF, not only the one that I showed right now, but along with that, 6 other prompts will be given in a PDF to those who enroll for the fundamental analysis using AI webinar. At present, I am fundamental analysis course on how to join this with discount. Acha. If your fundamental analysis course is already active, you need not join this webinar, because we will be uploading this in your fundamental analysis course free of cost. But just in case if you still want to attend it live, then with discount it will be CARRYT. And of course, if you still have any doubt that we want to clarify one or two things before we enroll for this webinar, then I'm going to give you my team's number as well. You can just drop a WhatsApp and you can just say whatever query you have. My team will get in touch with you and sort it out for you. It's 97635 04342. So it's 97635 04342. Okay, you can check that. Just drop a WhatsApp. My team will get back to you. Ashwin, stock of the month, as usual, we release it before 6 p.m. And today also it will happen before 6 p.m. Don't worry. Okay. No, nothing about intraday. No. Yes, of course, Sunil. We will talk about which tools are to be used for what. So I'll not just say you can use Claude or ChatGPT or no. I'll say use this tool for this output. Okay, so I'm going to tell you which AI tools should be used for what purpose. Everything will be mentioned in the webinar. Okay. Well, I hope all the queries about the webinar are clear, and I hope you have also enjoyed and understood how can you use AI effectively for doing quarterly analysis in just few clicks. If you सेमिनार मराठीत नाही का, आत्ताचा तरी सेमिनार इंग्रजीत असणार आहे, पण सोप्या इंग्रजीत असणार आहे. You will be able to understand every single sentence. I don't use jargon heavy English. My English is very simple and plain, so don't worry. Even if you are more comfortable with Marathi, you will still be comfortable with my English. Don't worry on that. Okay. I hope all the queries are clear. If you still have queries, I've given my team's number. You can just drop a WhatsApp message if you want to clarify anything, or if you directly want to enroll. The link is there in the pinned comment in the description box, and you can very well join the webinar. I'll see you on Sunday. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.